From city streets to big open fields, there are plants just about everywhere in East Tennessee. Experts with UT and its Institute of Agriculture say 10 plants stand out in the history and culture of the volunteer state. That project includes everything from trees to grass to the infamous vine that ate the South. I think you know what that is. The choices came from more than 600 nominations from the public. The project weighed each plant's historic influence on the state, its monetary value, and its positive and negative aspects. Now, here is the list in alphabetical order on the screen. Some notable ones often seen in our area include the dogwood tree, which Knoxville celebrates every year with a festival, ginseng, which has been harvested and sold for hundreds of years, and kudzu, that invasive plant species sometimes called the vine that ate the South. Researchers at UT say they could have guessed some of the choices, but others were surprising, and you can find that full list and researchers' positive and negative descriptions of it right now at WBIR.com. Certainly kudzu, not a native plant here, but it is one that has taken over many spots.
Speaking of plants, they are getting plenty